Mr. Secretary, Rocky just pointed out a number of issues, as you did as well. Russian and Chinese meddling, the United States international or foreign policy. You are not one to admire the problem. You have a long record of coming up with concrete brick and mortar solutions to address these issues. What are the next steps that you think the United States ought to be taking?
Well, I think, first of all, we do need to repair our relationship with our allies. I mean, we have strong common interests and common bond. In the last 3 years, they've been abraded by a lot of social media and other kinds of loose statements. But we do need to recognize how much we have in common and, frankly, how challenging our adversaries are and require a united approach. One thing I will say I agree with in the last couple of years is a more skeptical attitude about China and how China has been using its economic power and its technological power to aggressively promote its worldview and actually create economic advantages around the globe, whether it's by investing money in the Southern Hemisphere, by deploying technology in a way that gives it essentially a chokehold over the economies of many countries, or whether it's really sanctioning people with whom it disagrees, even when those people live overseas. We just had an incident in the last couple of days where China imposed sanctions on a number of US senators and the heads of a number of NGOs, including the president of Freedom House, of which I happen to be chairman of the board. So I do think that coming up with a strategy of a common approach is critical. At the same time, and this is not meant to be contradictory, we do need to engage with Russia and China in those areas where we do think we can make the case that there is a common interest in concerted effort, like climate change or dealing, for example, with pandemics. And that's not a question of being Pollyannish or thinking that we're going to win them over to our point of view, but it's recognizing even adversaries sometimes understand that a collective action benefits everybody, and without that, we all wind up paying a price. So it's really a question of balancing, embracing our allies, but also engaging with an appropriate degree of skepticism with our rivals.